Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Diego and I'm here with Roland. Welcome back to the second episode of our yet to be named podcast. Uh, Last podcast we spoke about the state of the Anglo, we spoke about ourselves, and we sort of let you in and sort of like our history with film and just our passion and what we hope to achieve. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing a couple different things. I wanted to start out with sort of what life brings to us, whether that's fate or whether that's our own will. But before we dive into that, Roland, is there anything you want to say to our returning watchers?
Now, you guys might notice that there's a person missing. Our friend Shailen could not participate with us today, but rest assured he will be back and soon enough. But other than that, I'm excited. Let's get this show on the road, my dude.
You got it. Shailen, if you're watching, we miss you. I hope you're having a wonderful nap. We'll talk soon, buddy. Anyway, so first off, I just wanted to let you guys in on a couple of my favorite reads. Now, one of my favorite books at the moment is called I Am the Placebo. Or no, You Are the Placebo. You, right now, you right here watching this, you are the placebo. What that book talks about is how strong our minds are. And it's vague, I know, but there's no better way to put it. This book really shows us that our minds control anything and everything in our lives, pretty much. Whatever you're holding on to in your mind, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, right? It's all because of this. And in a sense, it dictates how our lives end up turning out. If you are having a bad day, if you are feeling depressed, if you're just not feeling it, right? The worst thing you could do to yourself is, dwell, but also sort of like getting trapped in that rut, not trying to think positive. There's a reason why we say fake it until we make it. The more you fake feeling okay, the more you try and look at, the positive side, side of things, you technically fool yourself into believing that you're doing okay. Right? And sort of, that sort of goes to reinforce, that title. You are the placebo. You are the placebo for yourself, Now, the reason I brought this up is because in filmmaking, just like we talked about last episode, we tend to face a lot of adversity. We tend to face a lot of struggles. We tend to face a lot of obstacles, especially starting out. Now, don't get me wrong, this is in many professions, besides filmmaking. But the reason I'm focusing on filmmaking is because a lot of you guys right now are going through stuff that Shailen and I went through. Lack of equipment, lack of willpower, lack of confidence, and most importantly, motivation. So, yeah, in a sense, I wanted to bring up fate and our will, like our own will, if that makes sense. In filmmaking, you are your best friend and also your worst enemy. And I think that goes to say the same for like life. You are your biggest obstacle and your biggest aid, if that makes sense. The only better way to get over any obstacle that you come to find during your career, your passion, whatever it may be, it all starts here. You got to start thinking positively. You got to look for better ways to look at life. Now, I did want to hear a couple of your thoughts, because you and I have a lot of opinions regarding fate and just our own willpower. And I mean, outside of film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you agree? Like, we have the power to change the way we look at life and the way, like, we go about doing certain things. Like, do you agree with that? Or
Oh,
like,
yeah.
do you think sort of like there's other factors that play into that?
That is a ooh. So I'm kind of like I don't know. So fate's kind of weird, right? It's like it's just, I shit you not. This whole my whole like kind of exploration to fate was that one day we were at Chili's and I wore a Linux T-shirt and the waiter pointed out, oh hey, my last table they were talking about Linux and stuff, and I kind of had a realization, is that I decided to put on that shirt. We decided to go Chili's that day. We decided to go to Chili's that hour, that minute, and that specific seconds. All that to lead up to the point where that event happened. Now, that kind of got me thinking, well, what about the grander scheme of things, you know? Do we control our own fate? That's kind of the question I'm kind of answering. Is fate already like laid out for us? Do we have any agency in our fate? That's kind of where it all boils down to. I mean, I think the pessimistic side of me says that yeah, no, we don't have any agency. Whatever happens to us, whether we like it or not. Although that's kind of just life in general.
Oh no, absolutely. And I don't know. Like, earlier on, I was talking about fate and just willpower, and I did bring up, the topic of filmmaking and, the adversity, like in starting out. And I don't know, like, I genuinely think there is such thing as fate. I genuinely think there is some sort of plan laid out by a bigger being or by the universe in which it affects our lives in a certain sequence of events or in a certain manner. But I also believe that it is our own willpower, it is our own doing, okay, that affects that fate, because, like, in a sense, it could be laid out for me and for a lot of many people out there, to be successful in life, to become, great, in their profession, like, I want to make it out, like into the film world. I want to work with Netflix and all these other directors and, for, like studios. I want to make my own, like studio.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't be able to get there unless I have the willpower to put in the work and, in a sense, to reach that level of, like, what am I trying to say? Like,
Man.
think of it this way. One of my favorite movies, Nightcrawler. His motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to have the money to buy a ticket.
Right.
Okay? Sure, my fate could be winning $1 million. But if I don't have the money to start out with to buy that ticket, I'm not going to get anywhere. So what I'm trying to say is I genuinely think there's that sort of like dual influence in life. And whatever fate may be, whatever sort of like outer world being, that controls this thing called fate, like however it works, we are able to influence that, and we are able to change our fate in this, in a sort of like saying, if that makes sense.
Or maybe it could be like, if we can't control our fate, maybe our outlook on what our fate is could determine how like good faith the fate comes in. I had this thought going. I don't know. Or maybe our outlook also on fate may also influence things, or maybe that could be the one thing that changes our fate.
It's just how we look at
it. Yeah.
You see, like, I would agree with that too, because a lot of, like, just, I mean, to put it simply, a lot of, like, how our life plays out, it just depends on the way we decide to look at it. I'm a server, okay, and sometimes I have really, really shitty nights at work. But one thing that does help me is to always have a positive outlook no matter what. So if I have a couple of shitty customers, if I mess up an order, that's my fault. But that's not going to keep me from having a good day or from trying to have a good day. It's a simple mistake, simple, sequence of events that didn't go my way. It's fine. I still have the rest of my day to go. And if all else comes to fail, I have tomorrow to restart and, sort of try and have a better day. So that's how I try and look at things. And again, I mean, I agree with that. It all just sort of depends on our outlook. Whether that may be with life in general, your passion, school, whatever. It boils down to the simplest of things in life. Now, I did have a quote that I prepped. I just turned on Google and I decided to share it with you guys. We'll put it in the screen somewhere above our heads or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it reads, "Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you have always believed, you will continue to act as you have always acted. If you continue to act as you have always acted, you will continue to get what you have always gotten. If you want different results in your life or your work, all you have to do is change your mind." So I hope this gave you a little insight on just, some of the things that can influence your life, your work, your lifestyle, whatever it may be. I tend to always sort of keep an open mind to these things just because it does help me whenever I'm, at my lowest or whenever I'm getting to that point. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and transition now to our topic of the week or our fact of the week. Right. We'll see what Roland has prepared for us. And yeah, roll transition.
Welcome to the fact of the week. So Diego, let's talk about, we got on a good start with fate, all right? So you see this painting, okay? This is a painting of the Marquis de Lafayette. He was, if you guys don't know, or if you haven't seen Hamilton or whatever, he's a famous general in the American Revolutionary War.
Looks like my uncle.
He was French. Besides the weird-looking face here, what do you notice about this painting?
His big nose.
Okay, well, I'm talking about in general.
Well, it seems to be deteriorating at the bottom.
No, it's actually unfinished.
Oh.
This was made by a American named Samuel Morse. He was a painter and an inventor in the 1700s.
Did he develop Morse code?
Let's get to that. He was in the middle of painting the Marquis de Lafayette until he got a letter from America, since he was in France at the time.
Is he American?
Yeah, Samuel Morse is American. He got a letter saying that his wife is deathly ill. And so he dropped everything. He didn't finish the painting, and then he sailed back to America. When he got there, his wife not only just died, but the funeral already happened and she was buried.
That's horrible.
Samuel Morse, absolutely distraught about this, decided to invent the telegram and then a sequence of code known as, that we know today as Morse code. And so we could talk about how it was fated that to happen. Because we can't live today without the telegraph, right? Because the internet, phone, that could...
It all originated from the telegraph.
Happened. How old do you think a fax machine is?
70 years old. I don't know.
The first fax was technically invented in 1843. This is what the first fax machine looked like. I forgot the name of the inventor. I didn't put his name for some reason.
That looks like a sewing machine.
It was weird. So this was technically the first, it was the telegraph that instead of it would translate Morse code into text.
So how old is Morse code?
Morse code has been I think at least 1820s or 10s.
So we're talking almost 2 centuries ago.
Yeah, basically. Basically, yeah, that's how old this is.
Gosh.
So this is how it worked, right? So you notice that there's keyboards, right? You could.
It looks like a piano.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like my piano.
It is weird, but you have the letters on there, right? And you get to type it out, your message, and it would send Morse code, I think, through the telegram to another receiving end, in which that the whole mechanism will work out, and so that this long strip of paper right here would actually print out text.
Oh wow.
So the problem with this though is that it's so like odd because you had to like sync up the pendulum because we didn't have like stuff like syncing stuff back then and stuff. And if you need someone to sync up this all the way across the United States, for example, it's kind of hard to kind of coordinate that.
Right.
But this was the first typing kind of fax. This is the actual first printing fax that actually would do image. It's so weird, right? And I think it. Actually,
they're seeing this, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you all are seeing this, right? So this is huge pendulum thing. You have these two electromagnets down the bottom, right? And so this thing goes back and forth, and you see these like little printers, kind of, that it would gradually keep going forward as the pendulum swings to try to make an image.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but it like you would send I guess wave forms or something more. I don't think this was actual Morse code that actually went through, but some sort of signal that went through, and that would basically print an image out on these like curved saddle kind of like things. And then you could how you would send the message though is that you would trace with on like one side would be the receiving, one side would be the transmitting, and so you would have to kind of draw it out again, and that would send electrical signals through these two little magnets, and stuff that goes back and forth all the way to the other side of the world. And you could print text, image. I mean, obviously this was not like 1080p like image quality and stuff, right?
Imagine using that to like get a hold of your significant other.
I know, right? And of course, this was huge, bulky, and it was hard to coordinate.
I'm so glad we have DMs now, dude. Like,
yeah,
I could never.
Slipping into a DM, you would have to, you would have to message, hey, align your pendulum here, and then just wait like a few minutes. So this was made in 1860, right? And so I think there was a joke that was kind of going around saying the Meiji Restoration that abolished samurais was in like 1869 or something. And Abraham Lincoln was shot in 65, probably. Wow. So the joke is Abraham could have faxed something to a samurai.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
I found this out, and it was like, oh my god.
My mind is blown. Like, my head hurts. What?
I redeemed myself from first episode. So did you know about this fact?
I did not know that fact.
Are you happy you knew about this fact?
I'm quite happy with it.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
I mean, like, oh my god, that would be like so cool if it was like, I think you could also like transmit something overseas too. So I think if you wanted to communicate something in France from like New York or something, I think you could.
Using this big piece of...
Maybe, probably, but I guess for just general, like, telegraph, Morse code stuff.
I am never taking my phone for granted ever again.
Oh, my God. Have you tried learning Morse code? That stuff is, like, hard, because it's, like, the big mistake people learn when trying to learn Morse code is that you have to see the dots and dashes. That's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to hear it, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of like you listen to a whole new language, right? And you need that for like a ham radio license for general.
Yeah, I'm never trying that. That's crazy.
It is crazy, and so yeah, it's just things are a lot earlier than we expected.
That's crazy.
And obviously, of course, when phones started to become a thing, and then they send like digital audio through the lines, then we get the fax we know and love today. And of course, now we don't use a fax ever. I don't think anyone who has legitimately used a fax. Because that takes not only do you have to take up a landline, right? Then you have to wait a couple minutes to print. And then if there was something wrong with the printer on one side, right? Then they need to fix that. They have to call over. Or besides, like now, you could just send an email for like
Yeah, we don't do that here.
no time.
We don't do that no more.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I say that calls it for topic of or fact of the week. We're gonna go on intermission real quick, and we'll come back for the rest of our discussion.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All righty.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Look, listen, I just don't understand why we do the things we do when it comes to like life.
Yeah.
Like who decided, okay, we would get rid of our humanly waste through the fucking Oh, we're rolling now, huh?
Oh, hi there. Welcome back. Okay, well, please ignore that. All right. Ever heard of the Library of Babel?
The what?
The Library of Babel. We are in a library currently. I don't know if you know Cherry Hills represent.
We have like a whole library looking at us.
Yeah, we got a nice little window behind you guys. We're not going to show you guys, but yeah, we have a whole. But anyway,
The Library Babel.
Yeah.
Did they misspell Bible?
No, Babel. So in the Bible, in the Bible there is the Tower of Babel. The story goes that people tried to make a tower to reach God, and
That's Olympus.
that's Greek mythology. We're talking about biblical.
Zeus was a god, so I'm not entirely wrong.
Okay, well, fine. Well, they're building a tower up to God. God got pissed because, like, oh my God, what are you guys doing? Like, this is bullshit. So they kind of they cursed everyone to speak different languages so they couldn't communicate to build the tower. So that's why we have different languages. So that's where Babel comes from. So the Library of Babel is a huge it's a website, right? I probably have the screen recorded, probably don't. But we have the whole thing goes is that we hold on, let me try to get this to you. You're supposed to go through let's do to a little shelves. Let's go to number 8. We see this like cute little thing, and then let's select this. And 1 through 5. Give me a number.
4.
4. Let's go to shelf 4. Volume what? Give me
11.
Volume 11. All right. And then what page would you like?
11.
11. Okay. So you can see here, it's just a whole bunch of text, right? So what this actually, I'm going to stop being.
Is this an actual language?
No.
Oh.
No, this is not a. This is I guess there's an algorithm that we get 29 letters, including punctuation space.
That's more than 29 letters.
Well, okay, 29 characters, I meant. And then they convert it to all the programs so that they have a page of 360 characters in one page of a book. And there's so many other books. Now, here's what's really cool about it, all right? Let us search something in this library. So let us get a Wikipedia article. Give me something.
You are the placebo.
Okay, you are the placebo.
Yes.
It is a book by someone I've never heard of. And then, so let us, come on. How do I get a, I don't know how to, so let's take the description for this book, or something, and then let us copy it and let us paste. And let's see here, page 33 on whatever this character is. This has already been written in this Library of Babel. This is the crazy thing about it. everything that we have ever said, everything that we ever read, everything that will ever happen to us, everything that has happened to us, everything that's going on now has already been written out and described in this book, in this Library of Babel. So let's say here, Roland and Diego are doing episode 2 of the Unnamed Podcast. Search this up, right? And it's already been written, let's say here.
What page?
Page 161 of whatever this is on wall 3, shelf 2, volume 23, page 161. Roland and Diego are doing episode 2, episode of the Unnamed Podcast.
What?
And something this is a massive site, right? I think there's like there's more text in this book, in this site, than all the atoms in this world or something. I don't know. Because it does like these like little algorithms where it's like they convert text into code, and then code into a sequence of directions, and then if we want to access a certain page, then it'll do the reverse process. And we could do a random page, and then it's kind of us to do an alphabet English size, and it gives us all these kind of words. And sometimes if you're lucky, you'll get an actual word out of it or a sentence.
Wow.
And it's kind of weird to think about, because no matter what happened in my life, it has already been written out. I just have to search through it.
Is this website fate?
Maybe it's a log of what fate will happen, what fate's going to happen, what has already happened.
Who writes this?
Maybe it is the higher being of fate itself.
They're writing a blog.
Yeah, no, this is an entire blog.
What?
And it's so, yeah. I don't know. And there's a theory page explaining everything. I don't know how to feel about this, because everything it's like, seriously, we don't know where it is, right, in the site, what's going to happen to us, right?
Right.
Like, this is astronomical levels of pages that we have to go sort through, even to even get a sentence out, right? And it's so, I don't know, it's so odd, because I don't know how to feel about it. I can't even comprehend how, like, big this is.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. This would have made a crazy fact of the week. That is, I'm going to have to look that up later. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of regretting not doing the fact of the week, and I'm just doing the facts. But, well, I don't know, because this kind of goes back to our first topic of fate, right?
So would I be able to search my future on here?
It'd take a long time. I mean, if you just want
to... If I really devoted time to it, could I maybe find out if the podcast became successful? Or if our stuff became successful? Could I find out when and where I die?
That is, yeah. Oh, that's another thing, is I could put them in my birth date.
No way. Because I was also about to say, like, how do you, like, isolate yourself from everybody else out there? Because there could be a trillion more Rolands in this book than we know of.
Right.
There could be a trillion Diegos that, we could possibly be looking to, like.
Yeah, here we go. December 29th, 2001. My birthday's already there. And my date of death is also probably on here.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is a portal into something huge.
That's crazy.
And we, us humans, can't even comprehend it.
What the heck?
So yeah, go to so it is the library of babel.info. I'll probably leave it a link in the description. Just check it out, play around with it. If you guys find something like interesting, comment us. Like, try to go to a random page and find like a sentence or something.
I wonder if we could find movie scripts on this.
Oh,
Imagine finding like the script to like Interstellar, and it's already written out and stuff. That'd be crazy.
yeah. Hold on. So we got the B movie script here.
No, okay, we're stopping it here. We're not going to movie script.
No. Hold on. The B movie script.
Well, I save you guys from that. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day wherever it is you're watching this. We'll come back to you with episode 3 shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
We have some interesting ideas for that episode. I'm genuinely excited about. I hope to see you guys soon. And yeah, I guess we'll call it.
Let's call it. All right.
Hey, thank you for joining us for episode 2 of the Unnamed Podcast. This is
Thank
Diego.
you. I'm Roland.
And we'll see you soon.
Alrighty.
Shaylin, I
Bye.
hope you're doing okay, buddy. Have a good night.
Love you.